Hey there, my friend. It's so good to have you here again tonight. As you rest your head on the pillow, let your imagination drift back to a world of flickering candlelight and bubbling glass vessels, a world where the Philosopher's Stone was the most beautiful secret ever sought. Take a moment to settle in. Feel the softness beneath you, let each muscle unwind, breathe in slowly, and as you exhale, release the day. Tonight, we step gently into that ancient mystery. Shall we begin? Over the next few minutes, I'll share 5 quiet facts about the history of alchemy and the legendary Philosopher's Stone. Each one will drift to you softly, one at a time, and it's perfectly fine if sleep finds you before we finish. If nights like these help you unwind, subscribing is a gentle way of knowing I'll be here whenever you need me. Now, let's wander into the past together. The legendary Philosopher's Stone was not envisioned as a simple pebble, but as a shimmering wax-like substance known as the tincture. Picture it glowing with a soft, otherworldly light, almost like molten moonlight held in the palm of an alchemist's hand. This radiant essence was believed to seep through the skin of base metals, gently guiding them upward into a state of perfect purity. It was a patient, loving process, a quiet refining that turned lead into gold without force. To the alchemist, the tincture was not just a chemical agent but a whisper of perfection, tenderly coaxing the hidden divinity out of all things. At the heart of this quest was the Magnum Opus, the great work, a slow, meditative journey through color and form. It began in the deep black of the Nigredo, a stage of silent decay where old identities dissolved into shadow, like a seed breaking open in the dark earth. From that stillness, it rose into the soft white purity of the Albedo, a cleansing light that washed away all impurities. Then came the gentle yellow warmth of Citrinitas, a first blush of golden dawn. Finally, the process bloomed into the ruby-red radiance of Rubedo, the stone's full, living heartbeat, like a rose opening at sunrise. Each step was peaceful, a transformation without violence. Many ancient seekers believed the stone was the physical manifestation of the Universal Solvent, a tender liquid called alchemist. Imagine a water so pure it could wash away all boundaries, returning even the hardest metals to their original, primordial essence. This was not a harsh acid but a compassionate embrace that dissolved differences and revealed the common origin of all matter. It was thought to reduce substance back to a formless, cosmic soup from which it could be reshaped with the ease of a potter molding clay. In this gentle undoing, the alchemist saw the ultimate act of loving creation. The pursuit of the stone was deeply intertwined with the Elixir of Life, a shimmering potion derived from the stone's power. Picture it flowing through veins like liquid light, mending and renewing every part of the body. The elixir promised a quiet vitality, an eternal youth where the spirit floated free of decay and the body remained supple and serene. It was said to cleanse all imperfections, not just of flesh but of the soul, aligning one's being with a deeper, harmonious rhythm. So the search for gold was really a search for wholeness, a gentle healing of the self. In the quiet halls of the Islamic Golden Age, scholars like Jabir ibn Hayyan, known as Gibber, refined the art of alchemy into a science of balance. He proposed that all metals were composed of varying proportions of sulfur and mercury, 2 archetypal principles that danced together in intimate union. By patiently adjusting these inner harmonies, one could guide a metal toward the perfect golden ratio, like tuning a string until it sings the right note. His meticulous, serene experiments were a form of laboratory prayer, a careful listening to nature's secrets. Through his writings, the dream of the stone traveled across centuries, still inviting us to wonder if the world's deepest secrets are waiting, poised in perfect balance. Imagine an ancient manuscript, its pages yellowed with age, and there, in the margins, a serpent drawn in delicate ink. It curves in a perfect circle, its tail gently entering its own mouth in a gesture of eternal return. This is the Ouroboros, a symbol that adorned countless alchemical texts, whispering of infinite cycles. It represents the belief that the beginning and the end are one and the same, like the horizon where the sea meets the sky. In the alchemist's quest for the stone, this image was a quiet meditation, a reminder that the universe breathes in endless rhythms and that true wisdom lies in embracing the flow without resistance. As you gaze upon it, you might feel a sense of peaceful completion, as if all of time is held in that single, circular moment. In the quiet of his study, far from the acclaim of his scientific triumphs, Sir Isaac Newton turned his mind to the ancient art of alchemy. He filled secret notebooks with intricate diagrams, where circles seemed to float on the page like celestial bodies, and symbols whispered of hidden transformations. He believed that beneath the veil of ordinary matter, there pulsed a divine pattern, a secret geometry that the alchemists had glimpsed. This wasn't a rejection of reason, but an expansion of it into the realms where light and mystery intertwine. For Newton, the search for the stone was a quiet contemplation, a belief that the secrets of the universe were woven into those age-old manuscripts, waiting to be rediscovered by a patient and curious soul. Within the alchemist's lexicon, words were not merely labels but veiled pathways to deeper understanding. They spoke of the green lion devouring the sun, or the red dragon awakening in the flask, not to confuse the uninitiated, but to protect the profound. These poetic codes were like a gentle gate, opening only for those who approached with reverence and calm. The language itself was a test, filtering out the impatient, and allowing only the peaceful heart to glimpse the secrets of the stone. In this way, the truths remained safe, drifting like leaves on a quiet pond, accessible only to the still and observant mind. It was a dance of symbols, where every metaphor held a mirror to the processes of nature and the soul. Beyond the allure of golden riches, alchemy held a deeper promise, the transmutation of the soul, known as the chrysopoeia. The alchemist's furnace was a metaphor for the human heart, where the lead of our everyday burdens could be gently heated, distilled, and transformed. Each stage of purification mirrored a stage of inner growth, refining the spirit until it shone with a luminous clarity. It was a slow, sacred process, a journey of becoming, where the final gold was not a metal, but a state of being, radiant and whole. This was the true stone, not forged in the laboratory, but awakened within, a quiet illumination that brought peace to the seeker. Step gently into the alchemist's sanctuary, a dim laboratory where time seemed to slow. The air was thick with the earthy scent of burning herbs, mingling with the soft sound of glass vials bubbling over a steady flame. In the corner, a furnace glowed with a warm, amber light, casting dancing shadows on the stone walls. These spaces were not places of haste, but temples of patient observation, where the alchemist became a student of the earth's slow secrets. The rhythmic heartbeat of the fire was a companion, a quiet drum marking the long, meditative watch over transformation. Here, in the comforting glow, the mysteries of the world were gently unraveled, one breath at a time. Imagine a quiet chamber where shadows dance softly on stone walls, and an alchemist leans over a vessel of base metal. The legendary Philosopher's Stone was believed to be the gentle catalyst for the Magnum Opus, the great work of transmutation. It could turn dull lead into a shimmering pool of pure gold, but the true marvel lay deeper. This pursuit was a spiritual mirror, reflecting a quest to polish the human soul into a state of radiant perfection. In the hush of that sacred endeavor, every slow stir was a prayer for enlightenment whispered into the quiet air. You can almost see the metal glowing with a soft inner warmth, shedding its mundane cloak for a luminous robe of light, as the alchemist watched this silent metamorphosis, knowing it mirrored his own quiet journey toward a wiser, more peaceful heart. From that legendary stone, many alchemists dreamed of drawing the Elixir of Life, a potion that glowed with a soft, inner light. It promised to mend every wound and soothe every ailment, granting a peaceful existence stretched across time's gentle tide. This longing for longevity was a silent song of the heart, a wish to tune the body's frail instrument to the eternal rhythm of the stars. Picture a cup held in trembling hands, its warmth a kiss of immortality, as the drinker merged with the cosmic dance in a boundless, tranquil sleep. The elixir seemed to hum with the quiet music of distant galaxies, promising a harmony where age became just a gentle ripple on a still pond. The alchemical journey unfolded in 4 tender stages, like the slow turning of seasons. First came Nigredo, a blackening where matter dissolved into a dark, fertile quiet, like soil awaiting a seed. Then Albedo washed it clean, a silver light of purification that rinsed away every shadow. Citrinitas followed with a golden awakening, a dawn of awareness where materials began to hum with potential. Finally, Rubedo arrived, a soft reddening like the blush of a morning rose, signaling the stone's birth. In that moment, the vessel held not just a substance, but a symbol of creation's own heartbeat, a tiny universe of stillness and transformation. In a very different chamber, Sir Isaac Newton sat by candlelight, his mind a garden of numbers and mysteries. Though he mapped the motion of planets, he devoted quiet years to alchemical texts, seeking a hidden grammar of matter. His notebooks brimmed with calculations on transmutation, viewing it as a silent key to the invisible laws that guide the stars. In those pages, physics and philosophy held hands, and he chased a unified wisdom where lead could dance into gold under the same gentle pull that held the moon in its orbit. He sought the quiet threads connecting the earthly and the celestial, wrapped in the hush of a late-night study. Now, imagine a softly sealed glass vessel, its curves a boundary of perfect stillness. This is the Hermetic seal, born from the belief that in a closed system, nothing ever truly vanishes. Inside, a delicate reaction unfolds in isolation, a quiet ballet of atoms swapping roles under a watchful, silent eye. The vessel sits like a tiny universe, a cocoon where transformation spirals without beginning or end. It reminds us that change never stops. It simply flows into new forms in the gentle embrace of a locked and tranquil space. The seal holds a promise of continuity, a soft whisper that all is preserved in the grand, quiet cycle of existence. And in that sealed world, time itself seems to pause, allowing a gentle alchemy of the eternal. In the alchemist's world, the heavens were not distant lights but intimate partners in their sacred work. They wove the zodiac's ancient patterns into their recipes, aligning the moon's silver gleam with the cool touch of metal and the sun's golden fire with the heart of burning gold. Every procedure had its perfect moment, timed to the slow, silent drift of planets across the night sky. This was a belief that the universe itself breathed a rhythm, and by harmonizing with that rhythm, one could coax nature into its most graceful expression. The work became a delicate dance, a step taken in time with the cosmos, where earthly substances and celestial bodies mirrored each other in a quiet, endless embrace. At the very heart of alchemical wisdom lies a text shrouded in myth, known as the Emerald Tablet. It was said to hold the secrets handed down from the god Thoth, carved onto a great green crystal. But it is a single, profound phrase from this tablet that echoes through centuries like a gentle bell, as above, so below. These words invite us to imagine a perfect, peaceful mirror held between the vast swirling galaxies and the quiet chambers of our own human heart. Every star's journey, every nebula's slow bloom, has a counterpart in the tender, intricate workings of our inner spirit. The alchemists saw this not as mere metaphor, but as a lived, breathing reality in their labor of transformation. Central to the alchemist's silent sanctuary was a peculiar tower of fire and ash, the Athanor. This was a furnace designed not for blazing infernos, but for a sustained, gentle sigh of heat. Its patient fire could hum at a constant, low temperature for months, even years on end. The steady, unchanging glow of the coals was meant to replicate the tender incubation found deep within the warm spring earth. Think of a single seed, buried in the dark soil, feeling no rush as it slowly, silently transforms into a sprout. That was the spirit of the Athanor's flame, a soft, persistent heartbeat in the heart of the workshop. In the quiet laboratories of the Middle Ages, alchemists tended to glass vessels where a beautiful cycle played out again and again, the process of distillation. A liquid would be warmed over a soft flame, slowly releasing a fragrant vapor that wove upward like a waking thought. This vapor would then climb into a cooler coil, where it sighed back into a pure, crystalline liquid, drop by precious drop. This rhythmic rising and falling was seen as a mirror of the world's own breath, the way morning mist rises from a pond to return as evening dew. It was a gentle, circular journey that stripped away impurities, leaving behind the very soul of the substance. Much of alchemical writing was composed in a secret language of poetry known as decknamen or cover names. Instead of plain words, they spoke of a green lion devouring the sun or a white eagle taking flight from a blackened sea. This beautiful, coded imagery created a soft, dreamlike veil of secrecy around their most profound discoveries. The true identity of these materials was hidden, ensuring that the mysteries of the Philosopher's Stone would only reveal themselves to a soul with patience and an open spirit. It was a language designed to be felt, not just read, a gentle riddle for the heart. Still here, gently floating through these alchemical secrets. That's lovely. The story of the stone itself is just about to unfold, and if you're enjoying this quiet journey, a like helps other night owls drift here too. Let us drift gently into the hushed world of alchemy, where the boundary between science and spirit blurs like mist at dawn. Here, the most profound secrets were whispered in symbols and dreams, quiet and slow. The legendary Philosopher's Stone, for instance, was not a cold, hard rock as many might think. It was often imagined as a glowing, iridescent powder, fine and luminous. Imagine a substance that shimmers with an inner light, like captured stardust in a glass vial, catching rays of candlelight in a darkened room. Alchemists believed this shimmering dust could act as a gentle catalyst, guiding base metals like lead to transform over long, patient hours. They saw it as a slow, peaceful process where the dull metal would drift into radiant, pure gold, like a leaf turning from brown to brilliant gold in autumn, a quiet metamorphosis without rush. In the quiet halls where alchemists pondered, the pursuit of this stone was known as the great work, the Magnum Opus. It was more than an experiment, it was a spiritual journey mapped out in soothing colors. The first stage was called the Nigredo, a time of dark, peaceful stillness, like the quiet of a moonless night when the world sleeps. After much patience, the work would reach the Rubedo, the final stage. This was a warm golden glow, like the first light of sunrise filling a silent room with gentle warmth, signaling completion and harmony. Beyond the promise of gold, the stone held a deeper, softer secret. It was whispered to be the key to the Elixir of Life, a golden liquid of renewal. A small drop was believed to wash away the weariness of age, smoothing away the lines of time. It could renew the body, making it feel light and airy, as if one were floating in calm, warm waters under a gentle sun. This elixir promised an eternal peace, a quiet stillness that would settle deep in the bones and last forever, a timeless sleep without end. Even the great Isaac Newton, known for revealing the laws of gravity, was drawn to this quiet pursuit. He spent many years in a private sanctum, filled with the scent of old paper and herbs, a gentle fragrance of dried lavender and ink. There he practiced alchemy with a patient, careful touch, filling countless notebooks with his observations. He was searching for the hidden patterns, the gentle laws that might reveal the secret of the Philosopher's Stone, treating it as a cosmic truth waiting to be uncovered, another law of the universe like gravity itself. The roots of this art stretch back to ancient Egypt, where alchemy began as a blend of early chemistry and spiritual wonder. In those days, practitioners worked in soft-lit workshops, surrounded by mineral powders and salts, their hands careful and slow. They sought to understand the floating connection between the earth beneath their feet and the stars overhead. Everything felt interconnected, like threads in a vast, quiet tapestry woven from moonlight and dust. In the dim, secluded corners where alchemists labored, they often shared their wisdom through a language of soft imagery and poetic riddles. This was a way to protect their discoveries, yes, but also to mirror the tender, gradual transformations of nature. They would speak of the green lion, a serene and patient beast representing an acid that would slowly, gently dissolve a metal, leaving behind a quiet change. Then there was the red dragon, a symbol of warm, nurturing fire, embodying the long, low heat that ripened materials over countless hours. These metaphors were not harsh commands but gentle invitations, turning the work into a slow dance with the mysteries of the earth. And at the very center of the alchemist's dream rested a serene and timeless principle. the soft-spoken truth that as above, so below. This idea held that the magnificent cosmos, with its slowly drifting planets and faraway stars, was reflected in perfect miniature within the tiniest atom. Just imagine a quiet unity where the graceful orbit of a moon finds its echo in the gentle dance of particles inside a glowing crucible. It was a belief that wrapped the world in a seamless cloth of harmony, linking the high celestial realms to the humble minerals resting beneath our feet. In this view, all of creation shared a single peaceful breath, and every small thing was connected to the vast, eternal whole. Throughout the Middle Ages, the quiet art of alchemy was often sheltered in remote monasteries and the deep silence of ancient libraries. In these hallowed spaces away from the world's clamor, scholars would enter a profoundly meditative state, their days measured not by clocks but by the slow rhythm of the flame. They would tend their crucibles over low, steady heat, sometimes for an entire lifetime, waiting for a subtle shift in color or a gentle glow. This was not work of urgency but of a deep, patient devotion, as if they were coaxing a whisper from the depths of matter itself. Every slight change was a quiet revelation, a step closer to the hidden heart of the world. And though the stone itself remained a dream, the serene quest for it quietly blossomed into the foundation of modern chemistry. The alchemists' legacy is found not in a mythical artifact, but in their gifts of careful measurement and patient observation. Their gentle, persistent curiosity taught us how to gently separate pure elements from the common earth, and how to comprehend the quiet properties of matter, like the soft weight of a metal or the subtle way a liquid transforms. This was a slow, methodical kindness, a way of asking nature its secrets through tender, repeated trials. In time, their low-burning fires illuminated a path away from mystery and toward a deeper, more precise understanding of the physical world. Often, in the soft, faded artwork of the time, the philosopher's stone is portrayed as a single warm ruby-red crystal, lying gently on a cloth of deep velvet. The image itself seems to breathe with peace, the crystal glowing as if lit from within, the velvet absorbing all sound. This quiet Deep within the hushed libraries of old alchemists, there rested a legend of the philosopher's stone. This substance was imagined to be so pure that it could softly transform base metals, like lead, into the shimmering, golden glow of sunlight itself. This process of transmutation was not seen as a mere chemical trick, but as a profound spiritual metaphor. It mirrored the soul's own quiet refinement, a gentle shedding of shadow and weight, until only a luminous, golden essence remained. It was a slow, patient unfolding, like dawn breaking over a still landscape, where the ordinary is touched by a soft, golden grace. This quiet miracle was about awakening the hidden light within, a promise that the soul could rise from leaden weight to radiant flight. From this soothing stone, alchemists dreamed of drawing a gentle potion known as the Elixir of Life. This elixir was not a harsh medicine, but a soft, nurturing nectar that promised timeless health and serene longevity. They closed their eyes and imagined a life floating in a state of perpetual youth, effortlessly drifting away from the weariness of age and the quiet shadows of sickness. It was a dream of eternal spring, where each moment is as fresh as a newly opened flower. In this vision, the spirit remains forever buoyant, floating down a gentle stream of life that carries it softly into a future where the sun never sets on its vitality. In the ancient practice of the Magnum Opus, the great work, the creation of the stone began with a stage called Nigredo. This was a time of darkness and peaceful decomposition. Alchemists saw it as the quiet dissolution of the old self, a letting go of worn-out forms and hardened structures. Just as night gently falls to prepare for a new dawn, this phase was about making space for a luminous new beginning. It was a soft undoing, like leaves falling in autumn to feed the soil for spring. In this darkness there was no fear, only a profound release, as the soul shed its heavy cloak to breathe and prepare for the light. The Albedo stage followed, which alchemists described as a washing or whitening process. Imagine a soft blanket of snow covering the earth, quieting everything in a pure, even silence. This was a period of purification, where the spirit was cleansed and calmed, like water washing over smooth stones in a gentle stream. It was a time of inner peace, where all the roughness and noise of the self was soothed into a soft, white stillness. This whitening was a gentle embrace, a cool balm that eased the spirit into a state of quiet readiness, waiting for the final golden transformation. Many alchemists came to believe that the stone was not a physical rock, but but a state of consciousness. It was a hidden spiritual light living quietly within every person. They spent long hours in meditation, in the soft hush of their chambers, trying to awaken this inner gold through patience and steady reflection. This practice was a journey inward, a peaceful turning of the attention from the outer world to the inner landscape. It was about nurturing a gentle flame, coaxing it from a spark to a steady, warming glow. In this quiet alchemy, the greatest treasure was not a substance, but a serene state of being, an inner sun that never sets, illuminating the soul from within. Consider Isaac Newton, a man whose mind unlocked the force that holds the cosmos together. Yet in the quiet hours of the night, by candlelight, he turned to a softer pursuit. He was secretly a student of alchemy, filling countless notebooks with delicate diagrams and carefully coded recipes. He was not simply seeking to turn lead into gold, but searching for the hidden harmonies, the secret poetry whispered between the elements. Deep within the heart of those ancient texts, a curious image often appears: the green lion. Imagine not a beast of fury, but a symbol of a gentle, dissolving acid. It was depicted as a living, verdant creature, its emerald mane representing the soft, organic power of nature. This image evokes a sense of metals being slowly reclaimed, not destroyed, but peacefully embraced and transformed back into the raw, fertile matter from which they once grew. The entire philosophy of these dreamers was held within a simple, beautiful phrase: as above, so below. It was the belief in a gentle mirror, a perfect reflection between the vast, turning galaxies and the tiny, invisible dance of atoms within the earth. An alchemist would gaze upon the slow, silent procession of the stars, not just to map the heavens, but to understand the very ground beneath their feet. They felt that the secret rhythm moving planets was the same rhythm that could unlock the soul of a stone. Picture a soft sanctuary of silence, the alchemist's workspace. This was no sterile room of cold metal, but a place of low amber light, warmed by a single, slow-burning flame. The only sound to break the deep quiet was a rhythmic hollow drip from a distilling glass, or the gentle, dreamlike bubbling of a liquid in a rounded, swan-necked flask. It was a space carved out for a personal conversation with the secret life of matter, where the world's noise faded into a single, focused point of patient observation. In time, that slow, golden dream of the philosopher's stone gently drifted. It did not shatter, but softly faded from the dawn of a new day into the precise, waking world of modern chemistry. What remains is not a failure, but a legacy of pure wonder. The dream of the stone is a still, quiet reminder, a peaceful echo of humanity's eternal and tender desire to find a hidden perfection, a state of perfect harmony shimmering somewhere within the fabric of the world. In the quiet, candlelit chambers of old, alchemists dreamt of the philosopher's stone. This legendary substance was thought to be the key to a grand transformation, the Magnum Opus, or great work. They believed it could turn common lead into glowing, perfect gold. The dull gray metal would shimmer and soften under the stone's gentle touch. But this was more than a physical change. It was seen as a spiritual journey, a purification of the soul drifting softly towards a state of perfection. Each careful experiment was a prayer, a meditation on the divine, a slow ascent from earthly heaviness to ethereal light. From this mystical stone, they hoped to draw the Elixir of Life, a shimmering, golden fluid that promised eternal youth and immortality. They envisioned this essence flowing through the body, a gentle wave washing away the marks of time. Each imagined drop erased a wrinkle, soothed a weary bone, leaving the spirit refreshed, calm, and forever renewed. It was a dream of endless, peaceful mornings, where the soul never grew weary, a quiet river of life, sustaining the heart in a state of lasting serenity. The great work itself moved through 4 soft stages. The first was Nigredo, the blackening, a time of deep, quiet introspection. Imagine a blanket of darkness falling over the soul, a necessary stillness. All old forms dissolved here, making room for something new. It was like a long, restful sleep before a fresh dawn. In this darkness, there was no rush, only a silent waiting, a melting away of all that was rigid, returning to a fluid state of pure potential. From that stillness emerged Albedo, the whitening stage. A soft lunar purity arose from the darkness. Alchemists saw this as the soul being washed clean, like a fresh snowfall covering the world in silence. Every flaw was gently covered, every shadow smoothed away. It was a moment of reflection, pure and calm. The spirit basked in a cool silver light, feeling light and translucent. A quiet cleansing, as if a gentle tide had erased all footprints from the shore. Then came Citrinitas, the dawning of a golden light. Like the first rays of a rising sun, it signaled an awakening. Spiritual consciousness stirred gently from its slumber, climbing from the shadows. This was the dawn within, a slow drift into enlightenment. A warm, honeyed glow spread through the inner landscape. All doubt melted away in this soft radiance, leaving only a profound peace. A quiet knowing that all was as it should be, basking in the light of a new day. The final stage of a long, quiet transformation was called Rubedo, the reddening. In the stillness of the alchemist's laboratory, after years of patient work, this phase would unfold like a slow sunrise. The mixture turned a profound ruby red, not with a flash but with a deep glowing hue that seemed to hold the very essence of life. This color was a symbol of balance, the union of all contrasts like fire and water, light and shadow. It marked the quiet end of a seeker's lifelong journey, a peaceful crowning of their art. The stone was now complete, a tiny star born from the marriage of matter and spirit, resting softly in the palm of the hand. Alchemists wrapped their wisdom in a language of dreams to protect these profound secrets. They spoke in symbols that floated on the page and metaphors that bloomed like secret gardens in moonlight. They wrote of green lions devouring the sun and chemical weddings where opposites embraced in a silent, sacred dance. This coded language was a soft shield, a tapestry of riddles meant only for the most patient seekers. Each symbol was a star in a constellation of hidden knowledge, guiding the dreamer deeper into the mystery. For the true seeker, every phrase was a gentle whisper, a lullaby of clues meant for the quietest minds. This art flourished in the quiet libraries of the Islamic Golden Age, where scholars like Jabir ibn Hayyan refined the gentle art of distillation. They warmed liquids in glass flasks, watching as vapor rose and condensed in a slow meditative dance that was almost a form of prayer. Their meticulous work was a bridge from ancient curiosity to modern chemistry, turning mysticism into a precise flowing science. Every drop was a memory of their peaceful quest, a step toward understanding the hidden layers of the world. They transformed raw wonder into a flowing stream of knowledge, where each experiment was a calm stride on a luminous path. Even Isaac Newton, who mapped the force of gravity that holds us to the earth, spent years in quiet contemplation of alchemy. In his private study, he filled notebooks with sketches of the Philosopher's Stone, seeing the universe as a grand, interconnected puzzle. He believed the secrets of the stars and the metals drifted in a single peaceful current, a river of truth flowing through all things. For him, the stone was a key to a deeper harmony, where all laws of nature sang in a quiet symphony. His search was not separate from science, but a tender extension of his wonder, a dream within a dream. In many traditions, a softer truth emerged regarding the Philosopher's Stone. It was not a physical rock to be clutched, but a luminous metaphor for the enlightened human heart. The search for gold was a reflection of an inward journey, where the real transmutation happened in the silence of the spirit. True gold glows within that stillness, like a distant lantern on a moonless night, guiding us through the darkness of the self. It is a reminder that the most precious treasures are already inside, waiting in the quiet. And so, the stone becomes a symbol of peace, a gentle whisper that the riches sought are within. Still listening, dear dreamer, the secrets of the stone are gentle, and they wait for you in the comfort of these words. In the quiet chambers of ancient laboratories, where candlelight flickered over dusty tomes, alchemists across the ages pursued the most elusive goal of their craft. They dreamed of the Philosopher's Stone, a legendary substance whispered to gently turn base metals like lead into shimmering, pure gold. But this pursuit was never merely about wealth. It symbolized a profound spiritual transformation, a slow and tender journey of the human soul from a coarse, heavy state to one of luminous perfection. The stone was a mirror to the divine, reflecting the alchemist's own inner quest for purity and light. It represented the belief that the material world could be softly reshaped by the will of the spirit. This quest was a quiet symphony, a gentle dance between the earthly and the divine, echoing the timeless hope for transcendence. Alchemists believed that the philosopher's stone held the secret to another gentle wonder. They called it the Elixir of Life, a soothing potion capable of curing all ailments and granting a peaceful, timeless existence. This quest for immortality mirrored the ancient human desire to drift beyond the harsh boundaries of age, to find a state of eternal serenity where the soul could rest in quiet harmony. The elixir was a tender remedy, a balm for the spirit, inviting one to linger in a dreamy stillness. A place suspended beyond the reach of time, where the weariness of the world could finally fade away into a soft, enduring peace. In this tranquil state, the alchemist imagined a life free from the shadows of decay, a gentle existence woven from the light of eternal dawn. The art of making gold, known as chrysopoeia, emerged from the mists of Hellenistic Egypt. As early as the 4th century BCE, practitioners blended Greek philosophy with Egyptian mysticism. They dreamed of a world where matter could be softly reshaped by the still power of a focused mind. In their quiet contemplations, they saw the universe as a fluid tapestry, where the boundaries between elements were not fixed but gentle suggestions. This early alchemy was a meditation on transformation, a belief that the will could coax lead into gold and perhaps the soul into light. It was a time when science and magic waltzed softly together, and the dreamers of that age believed that the cosmos whispered secrets to those who listened with a quiet heart. In the medieval period, a name was whispered among those who sought the great work. Nicolas Flamel, an influential figure, was said to have unlocked the secret of the Philosopher's Stone. Legend suggests he achieved this through the study of an ancient, weathered book. It was a tome that carried the wisdom of distant ages. Flamel was thought to have attained a state of quiet immortality, drifting through history as a guardian of hidden knowledge. His story invites us to imagine a gentle figure, moving unseen through the centuries, carrying a lamp of eternal wisdom. In this quiet legend, we find a comforting thought that wisdom is eternal and can flow silently through the veins of history, unbroken and serene. The alchemical process was often described in 4 colorful and sensory stages. It was a slow journey, a gentle unfolding from one state to the next. It began with Nigredo, a deep and quiet void where all was dark and still. Then came Albedo, a soft emergence into shimmering white light, as if dawn were breaking within the vessel. Next, Citrinitas brought a warm golden glow, like the sun at midday spreading calm and peaceful radiance. Finally, Rubedo arrived with a deep, resonant red, a completion that hummed with the quiet power of a setting sun. These stages mirrored the soul's path from uncertainty to enlightenment, a tender transformation that resonated with the rhythm of the universe. And so, these ancient dreams of alchemy continue to whisper through the corridors of time, inviting us to drift into their soft and luminous embrace. Long ago, in the 16th century, a physician named Paracelsus began to turn alchemy toward the healing arts. He called this iatrochemistry, the practice of using gentle minerals from the earth to create soothing medicines. He believed that deep within our bodies, a delicate balance of 3 sacred substances governed our health. These were salt, for stability, sulfur, for spirit, and mercury, for fluidity. When these elements were in harmony, a peaceful flow of well-being would ripple through every part of our being, like a quiet stream moving through a silent forest. This idea was a comfort, suggesting that health is not just about fighting illness, but about finding a soft equilibrium within, a state of gentle balance that mirrors the calm of nature. And so, his work was less about magic and more about mending the quiet rhythms of the body, using the earth's simple gifts. It was a gentle shift, a softening of alchemy into a caring art. Many alchemists worked with a special glass vessel called an alembic. Its elegant shape was designed for slow, patient distillation, a process that echoed the unhurried pace of the natural world. They would watch with quiet fascination as tiny droplets of essence formed one by one, just like morning dew gathering silently on a blade of grass. Each drop fell with a gentle, rhythmic plink, a sound that measured out the hours in serene intervals. This process could not be rushed. It moved at the pace of the earth itself, a quiet dance of evaporation and condensation. The alembic was like a window into these slow transformations, where time seemed to stretch and soften under the alchemist's calm and steady gaze. It was a gentle reminder that the most precious things in life often require patience and a peaceful heart. There is an ancient, mysterious text known as the Emerald Tablet. It holds a single profound idea that has guided thinkers for centuries. The tablet says, "As above, so below." This suggests that the grand movements of the stars in the vast heavens are reflected here on Earth, in the quiet cycles of plants, in the slow flow of rivers, and even in the gentle rhythm of our own breathing. It is a philosophy of deep unity, seeing the small and the large as echoes of one another. This gentle notion invites us to look at a simple dewdrop or a leaf and sense the entire cosmos shimmering within it. In this way, we are never separate from the stars, but always connected in a quiet, eternal dance. It is a calming thought to feel the universe not as something distant, but as a part of our own gentle existence. Alchemy may seem like a forgotten art, but it gently laid the grounds for our modern chemistry. The early alchemists crafted the very tools we still use in laboratories today: glass beakers, copper stills, and precise ways of heating and measuring. More importantly, they practiced patient observation, sitting quietly for hours to watch how substances mingled and transformed. The shift from mystical alchemy to scientific chemistry was not a sudden revolution, but a slow, seamless drift toward understanding. It was like a boat quietly moving across a still lake, inching closer to the truth. This journey revealed the invisible bonds that hold the universe together, the quiet forces that bind atom to atom and keep the stars in their gentle orbits. It was through this slow, careful work that we began to understand the hidden language of the elements. In many ancient traditions, the pursuit of the Philosopher's Stone was not just an experiment, but a deep meditative practice. The gentle warmth from the furnace was more than a tool for heating; it was a soothing heat that mirrored the quiet warmth of the alchemist's own heart. The simple act of stirring a bubbling crucible became a rhythmic, comforting ritual. With each slow circular motion, the alchemist would sink into a deeper state of focused calm, letting go of all worldly concerns. The outside world would gently fade away, leaving only the soft glow of the coals, the quiet murmur of boiling liquids, and the steady, peaceful breath of the practitioner. In this timeless space, the work was a form of prayer, a quiet communion with the secrets of matter and soul. In the quiet dreams of alchemy, the greatest ambition was always the Philosopher's Stone. This legendary substance was said to hold the power of transmutation, a slow, magical shifting of one thing into another. Imagine a cool piece of lead, heavy and dark, resting in a crucible. Under the stone's influence, it would gradually warm, soften, and bloom into pure, glowing gold. But this was not simply about material wealth. It symbolized a spiritual ascent, a gentle rising from shadows into a warm and luminous peace. The alchemists saw it as a mirror of the soul's own quiet transformation, a soft reflection shimmering in the dark. They believed that in helping metal to change, they were also changing themselves. Beyond the lure of gold, the stone was also whispered to be the key to the Elixir of Life. This was not a harsh potion of frantic energy, but a gentle liquid, a soft draught of immortality. A single drop, it was said, could wash away every pain and illness from the body, like a quiet rain, cleansing a dusty leaf. It could smooth the fine lines of age from a tired face and restore the bright, clear wonder of youth. Those who sought it dreamed not of conquering the world, but of a peaceful, enduring longevity. They imagined decades of quiet contemplation, a long, gentle twilight filled with the calm understanding of 1,000 quiet sunsets. It was a promise of serenity, held in a tiny vial. In their quiet laboratories, Alchemists practiced the Magnum Opus, the great work. This was a process of careful watching and waiting. They would observe as colors slowly shifted in their glass vessels. First came the deep darkness of Nigredo, a time of breaking down and returning to the start. Then, gently, the material would pale into the snowy white of Albedo, a cleansing like a pure winter sky. After that came the golden yellow of Citrinitas, a soft hint of the light to come. Finally, the deep, rich red of Rubedo would appear, a final blooming into perfection. It was a slow, silent symphony of color, each shift a quiet revelation, a step closer to the elusive stone. To protect these sacred processes, many alchemists used a secret language of symbols and metaphors. They spoke of a chemical wedding, a gentle and sacred union of opposite forces within the flask. They whispered about the green lion, a mysterious beast that devoured the sun, representing a phase of transformation. This was not meant to confuse, but to create a dreamy, coded tapestry. It was a quiet language that only another seeker could unravel, a shared secret among those walking the same quiet path. Reading their texts was like entering a soft, symbolic dream where every phrase held a hidden, luminous meaning. The symbols were soft whispers in the night, guiding without ever shouting. Even a mind like Isaac Newton's was drawn into this quiet search. The famed Isaac Newton, known for his clear laws of gravity, spent many quiet years in contemplation of alchemical texts. In the hush of his study, he filled entire notebooks with careful calculations and delicate sketches of strange symbols. He was not merely studying matter, but searching for a hidden harmony, a gentle bridge between the seen and the unseen. He believed that the laws of nature, like gravity, and the mystery of the stone were deeply intertwined, two sides of one great divine secret. His work became a quiet meditation on the invisible threads that connect all things, from the falling autumn leaf to the slow transformation of a base metal into light. He sought a single, perfect note that would bring all of creation into tune. Alchemy was deeply rooted in the Hermetic tradition, based on the writings of Hermes Trismegistus. This ancient philosophy whispered a peaceful secret across the centuries, the idea of as above, so below. It suggested that the vast, slow dance of the stars above was perfectly mirrored in the tiniest grain of sand beneath our feet. Every distant planet and every minuscule particle were connected, part of one quiet, harmonious whole. This gentle truth guided the alchemist's hand, reminding them that nothing was ever truly separate. In this way, the heavens and the earth were seen as two pages of the same book, each reflecting the other's story. The alchemist felt this deep connection, like a silent thread tying all existence together. Ancient practitioners often worked with a curious substance, mercury. It was a silver, flowing liquid that moved with a mind of its own, shimmering like captured moonlight in their flasks. They saw it as the feminine essence, a fluid and receptive principle that ebbed and flowed like the tides. To create something whole, this living liquid needed to be balanced with the masculine, steady nature of sulfur, the bright and fiery element. In their gentle heating and mixing, they sought a perfect union, a mirror of the harmony they wished to see in the world. This balance was not just chemical, but a dance of opposites, a quiet reconciliation of forces. In the warmth of the flask, they watched these elements embrace, dreaming of a similar peace within themselves. The pursuit of the Philosopher's Stone was not merely a scientific quest. It was a soft, meditative journey inward. As the alchemists patiently tended their furnace, warming their metals through long, quiet hours, they believed they were also purifying their own soul. Every stage of transformation in the flask was a reflection of an inner change, a step toward personal perfection. The gentle glow of the embers was like a companion on this path, a warm light on a road to a more peaceful self. In seeking to turn lead to gold, they were truly seeking to turn the ordinary within themselves into something luminous. The process was slow, requiring patience and a gentle heart. Each morning they would return to the furnace, checking the colors and textures with a tender, hopeful eye. Across the east, Chinese alchemy dreamed of a different treasure. They spoke of the golden elixir and the cultivation of qi, the quiet flow of life energy. Their work was like a soft alignment, a way to tune the human body to the slow, rhythmic pulse of the cosmos. Using gentle things like herbs and minerals, they sought not just health but a state of floating, eternal tranquility. It was a practice of harmony, where breath and thought and the turning of the seasons all found a perfect, serene balance. In this stillness, they believed one could touch the quiet heart of the universe. This was not a forceful practice, but a soft surrender to the natural flow of things, like a leaf floating on a tranquil river. The alchemist became a quiet observer of their own inner landscape. Today, the legacy of the philosopher's stone lives on, not in flashy revelation, but in the soft glow of modern chemistry. Those early alchemists, with their patient experiments in distillation and sublimation, gently paved the way for the science of pharmacy, where healing often comes in a quiet drop. Their careful notes on how elements change and combine became the foundation for our understanding of the material world. The steady hand that once stirred a crucible now guides the chemist's pipette, in a lineage of peaceful curiosity. Their ancient dream of transformation continues, now a quiet, everyday reality. In every quiet laboratory, in every measured blend, the echo of their ancient work continues to soothe. It is a legacy of wonder, handed down through the ages like a gentle hum. The legendary goal of the Philosopher's Stone was not merely the creation of gold. It was the Magnum Opus, the great work, a spiritual journey as soft as a whisper. This path mirrored the purification of the human soul, drifting from a state of deep, quiet darkness into a shimmering, golden light. Imagine that warmth spreading through your chest, a gentle unfolding into brilliance. It was a transformation felt in the very core of your being, a slow awakening to an inner sun, a light that heals all weariness, a soft, eternal glow that rests deep within you, like a candle in a vast, still room. Alchemists also sought the universal solvent, known as alkahest. They believed it could dissolve any substance into its primal form, a gentle breaking down to the very essence. This quiet process was seen as a way to return matter to a peaceful, original state of purity. Like ice melting into a vast, still ocean, it was a soft dissolution of all boundaries, a return to the deep, silent essence from which all things are born, a warm and gentle undoing that feels like sinking into a feather bed after a long, weary day. In the hushed libraries of the Middle Ages, alchemists used a secret language of symbols. The crescent moon, pale and soft, represented silver. The glowing sun, warm and eternal, represented gold. This poetic code ensured that their gentle discoveries remained hidden, a quiet treasure for those who shared their patient pursuit. Each symbol was a breathed invitation to a deeper understanding, a soft key to a world of wonder where every shadow holds a glimmer of light, waiting to be touched by a gentle hand. Many practitioners believed the stone could produce the elixir of life, a glowing liquid, soft as starlight, capable of curing all ailments and extending human existence. This pursuit was driven by a soft longing for timelessness, a deep and enduring harmony with the rhythms of nature. It was a desire to feel the earth's slow heartbeat within you, a warm and eternal peace that flows like a gentle river through the endless night, carrying all sorrows away into a deep, silent sea. The process of alchemy itself was divided into colorful, quiet stages. It began with Nigredo, a dark, soft phase of decomposition, where all things break down into a still, fertile darkness. Then it transitioned slowly through Albedo, the whitening stage of washing and purification, like a pale dawn spreading over a sleeping world, until it reached the final golden glow of Rubedo, a warm completion, a light that fills every space with a deep, shimmering calm. A quiet radiance that lingers on your eyelids, soft and soothing, like the last light of dusk. Isaac Newton, remembered for the pull of gravity, spent long years in a private floating world of alchemical research. He studied ancient texts with a gentle reverence, their pages worn and soft under his fingers. He sought a hidden mathematical order within the slow transformation of metals. The quiet mysteries of the earth called to him, a deep and vast rhythm he felt in the stillness of his candlelit study. He believed in a code, a gentle pattern woven through creation, waiting to be touched like a secret whispered from the stars. His work was a silent meditation on the soil and sky, a soft pursuit of the elusive harmony that binds all matter. In his solitude, he traced the contours of a hidden world. And so, the same quiet search flowed along the Silk Road. The concept of the philosopher's stone traveled like a soft wind, carrying the gentle wisdom of ancient Egypt into the philosophical traditions of China. In the East, this pursuit often manifested as a quest for an internal spiritual elixir of immortality. It was a peaceful search for harmony, a slow blending of body and soul, not for golden treasures but for an inner stillness that mirrored the eternal. The journey wound through deserts and mountains, each step a whisper of ancient secrets. Alchemists talked of a substance that could calm the spirit, a deep and quiet promise carried on the breath of caravans under vast skies. It was a silent song of unity across the sands. These seekers often worked in small, dimly lit laboratories, the air warm with the soft hum of bubbling retorts and the faint scent of sulfur. They viewed their glass vessels as miniature universes, where elements danced and merged in a slow, rhythmic transformation. Each flask held a droplet of creation, a silent echo of the cosmos moving in quiet spirals. In that deep stillness, they watched matter breathe and change, a gentle ballet of fire and water. Their hands were patient, their eyes softly focused on the slow unfolding of secrets. The scent of earth and metal mingled in the still air, a soft perfume of creation and decay. They felt the pulse of the world in every heated glow. Deep within their wisdom lay the Emerald Tablet, a mysterious ancient text said to contain the secret of the stone through the phrase, "As above, so below." This peaceful philosophy whispers that the vast movements of the stars are mirrored in the tiny quiet changes within a single drop of dew. It is a soft reminder that all things are connected, from the great spiral of galaxies to the slow turn of a leaf in the breeze. The wisdom is vast yet intimate, holding the universe in a calm and still understanding. It teaches that the cosmic and the minute share a deep harmony. This gentle truth echoes in the silence of a sleeping world, a lullaby of unity. Over centuries, the patient observations of alchemists drifted into the foundational principles of modern chemistry. Their soft curiosity about the properties of matter laid the groundwork for understanding the quiet, invisible bonds that hold our world together. In the gentle heat of their furnaces, they began to see the atomic dance, the silent links between all things. Their legacy is a whisper in every experiment, a deep and enduring gift of calm inquiry. From the glow of ancient fires to the quiet of modern labs, their spirit lingers on. They left behind a quiet map of matter, drawn in the gentle curves of their notes, a soft foundation for the science that explores the hidden threads of existence. The legendary Philosopher's Stone was a warm, whispered secret, believed to catalyze the transmutation of cold, base lead into shimmering, pure gold. Alchemists saw this process as a deep physical reflection of a spiritual journey, a slow, soft drift from a crude state toward a more refined and luminous existence. Feel the heaviness of metal yielding to a gentle light, as if the soul itself was melting into a quiet, golden peace. This transformation was not just material, but a profound awakening in the stillness, a tender release from the weight of the world. It was a journey inward, where every shadow dissolved into a soft, radiant glow, leaving only calm. Beyond the gleaming gold, the stone held the secret of the Elixir of Life, a soft potion promising immortality or eternal youth. Practitioners dreamed of a peaceful state where the body remained timeless, floating free from the quiet burdens of age. Imagine a life where every breath is a gentle sigh, and the body feels as light as morning mist, never fading, always still. It was a vision of perfect serenity, a warm embrace of endless calm where time itself seemed to stop and rest. In this dream, the years slipped away like water, leaving only a deep quiet now, a soft, endless sleep. In the mystical great work, the Magnum Opus, the cycle unfolded in color-coded stages, mirroring nature's own rhythm. It began with the Nigredo, a deep and quiet phase of decomposition, a darkening where all impurities dissolved into blackness. Then came the Albedo, a softening white like the moon's pale rise, drifting slowly into the yellow Citrinitas, a warm, gentle dawn. Each stage was a breath of transformation, a step toward the light, a soft unfolding like petals in the silent night. These colors painted the soul's passage from the void to the blush of first light, a journey of healing deep within. The final stage was the Rubedo, the reddening, where the stone reached its full power as a warm, glowing culmination. It was a perfect harmony between the physical earth and the ethereal heavens, a soft merging of opposites. Picture a deep rose light spreading through your being, radiating stillness and ancient wisdom, like a sunset that never fades. This was the moment of ultimate peace, a quiet embrace of divine and mortal, a warm, eternal dawn breaking in your soul. Feel the red warmth settle into your bones, a gentle fire that never burns, just soothes and comforts, binding you to the universe. Many alchemists cloaked their knowledge in Hermeticism, a symbolic language named after Hermes Trismegistus, the whisperer of ancient wisdom. They wrote in riddles and poetic imagery, a soft veil of mystery to protect their secrets. Only those with a patient, peaceful mind could unravel these gentle puzzles, floating through the symbols like a dreamer in a vast, still sea. It was a language of silence, where understanding came as a warm, quiet dawn, a secret shared between the stars and the sleeping earth. Each riddle was a door to deeper stillness, a soft invitation to rest in the unknown, where the mind untangles and settles like dust. Now, let these secrets cradle you in their soft, warm light as you drift into a deep and peaceful sleep, where all transformations are still and gentle. Alchemy once breathed at the very edge of matter and mystery, a bridge woven from science, philosophy, and the deepest spirit. It sought the prima materia, a soft, primal substance, as if the universe itself was born from a single, gentle sigh. This original matter held the warmth of creation, a vast and tender field from which all forms slowly condensed like morning dew on a leaf. Isaac Newton, in his quietest hours, pored over alchemical texts with a patience that mirrored the heavens. He filled his notebooks with dreams of transmutation, seeing the secrets of the stone as a hidden rhythmic architecture in the natural world. For him, the universe was a breathing cipher, and every element sang a silent note in a cosmic symphony, waiting to be felt by the receptive mind. In many traditions, the stone was never a literal rock, but a metaphor for the soul's slow, calming enlightenment. The transmutation described was a profound shift in consciousness, turning the leaden weight of ego into a golden state of peace. It was an inner alchemy, a soft dissolution of all that was heavy, where the heart opened like a flower in the first light of dawn, releasing all its burdens into the warm stillness. Alchemists labored in candlelit rooms, where sand baths glowed with gentle heat and stills dripped in slow, steady rhythms. The sound of bubbling glass and the warm flicker of flames created a meditative cocoon, wrapping them in a veil of focused calm. Each drop that fell from the alembic was a whisper of patience, and the soft glow of the furnace was a lullaby for the searching soul. The legacy of the philosopher's stone drifted into the foundations of modern chemistry, leaving behind a trail of soft wonder. It reminds us of a time when humanity gazed at the world with tender eyes, believing that all matter was connected by a single, shimmering thread. That thread still binds us, if we listen in the deep silence, a subtle reminder that science and spirit can dance in the gentle light of curiosity, forever softly intertwined. The Philosopher's Stone was not always a hard, unyielding rock but instead a shimmering, translucent powder, a soft cascade of light that alchemists believed could gently coax lead into revealing its inner gold by perfecting its very essence. Beyond mere metal, they sought the Elixir of Life, a golden liquid that whispered of timeless vitality, a peaceful brew to wash away the weariness of age and let the spirit drift in perpetual youth. In the quiet libraries of the Islamic Golden Age, scholar Jabir ibn Hayyan carefully distilled liquids in glass vessels, his gentle experiments uncovering the hidden harmonies of the natural world. The Magnum Opus, the great work, was a slow meditation of spiritual refinement, a journey through dark and quiet Nigredo to the glowing ruby-red Rubedo where the soul finally blooms. Hermeticism flows from Hermes Trismegistus, a figure merging Greek and Egyptian wisdom, teaching that the universe is a mirror where the soft movements of stars reflect the quiet rhythms of the human soul. In those ancient texts, secrets were not written, but whispered through petals, where the green lion roared in silence and the white swan drifted across still waters, guarding truths only the quiet heart could ever truly see. Sir Isaac Newton, who once measured the arc of the heavens with cold precision, would sit by the soft glow of a furnace deep into the night, trying to distill gravity itself into a single drop of liquid light, believing the universe was a secret written in a language of gentle, invisible attraction. There was a sacred art called spagyrics, a slow and reverent prayer of the hands, where the stem, the leaf, and the petal were coaxed apart and brought back together, not to change what it was, but to gently release the warm, sleeping breath of the flower trapped within the fibrous matter. Step through the creaking door of that forgotten laboratory, and you would find no sharp glare of electricity, only the round, amber bloom of a charcoal fire reflected in the curved glass of a simmering vessel, while the air held the ghost of frankincense and the dusty, honeyed scent of old parchment crumbling softly into time. The Philosopher's Stone was never really about turning lead to gold. You see, it was merely a map of the soul, a quiet suggestion that the heavy, opaque cloud resting in the chest can, through gentle patience, be transformed into a luminous, weightless sky drifting peacefully toward the endless horizon. And now that our journey through the quiet mystery of the Philosopher's Stone has come to a gentle close, it's time to let these heavy thoughts dissolve into the softness of sleep. Your mind has wandered through the glowing flasks and whispered symbols of history, and now it deserves a long, deep rest. If this quiet space brought you even a moment of peace tonight, leaving a gentle like is a silent way of telling me so, and if you subscribe, I will be right here, waiting in the darkness whenever you need a soft voice to guide you home. As you close your eyes, remember the great work is simply the dawn of your own becoming. A slow alchemy turning the dark of night into pure morning light. Rest now, everything is exactly as it should be.